just getting set up. I was running a little late, so give me just a second here to get everything turned on and situated, and we will get started. So I was rushing to get done. I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow, after 1 o'clock. So Mondays are usually my extremely busy day. So today was kind of half of that, and then tomorrow is the other half. So just now getting inside, and then I'll go back to the barn after this. But let me get situated here, and then we will get started. There's that. Hope everybody had a great weekend, or a great week, I guess, and a great weekend. Whatever you want to do. Let's see. All right. I think everything's up and running. So welcome, everybody. We're glad you're here. We do this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Zach from Myshire Farm, and we do a live Q&A. So every Sunday at 7 p.m., or almost every Sunday at 7 p.m., we go live, and you ask your questions about Coturnix quail and becoming more self-sufficient, and we do our very best to help you on your adventure with Coturnix quail. As of right now, we've got 6,800 quail in the barn, and we've been doing this for 13 years, 12 years. We've been doing this for 12 years. So we've made every mistake in the book, which means we've learned a lot along the way. So we're happy to help you on your adventure with quail. And so first and foremost, that is why we're here. So if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, feel free to comment in the chat section, and we will answer those questions as soon as we get to them. We do a couple other fun things here every Sunday. And that is, if you want to let us know where you're from, it's always interesting to see where all the quail people are at in the world. Number two, if you've hatched any eggs from us in the past week and have not given us the hatch rate, feel free to do so on here as well. That also includes Canada division, which you can purchase on our website. And we'll write that down for our records. We're currently sitting at a 73.8% hatch rate, which I am very excited about. We had 3 really massive orders come in this week that bumped our number up. We were sitting at like 73.4, 73.5, something like that. And then all 3 of them had ridiculously good hatch rates, which helped a lot. So thank you for letting me know the hatch rates. I appreciate that. And then the third thing is we try to be kind to one another. This is more of a community setting. We all hang out, learn from one another, and learn other people's experiences. And we try to be supportive and kind. And if you can do that in the comments, that would be great. I've got Vay's Place and Ed Got Bait that are on here as well. They're blue in your chat section. They are my moderators on here. They do a fantastic job on keeping everything civil, and I appreciate them. And then if you can, be kind to the Myshire Farm YouTube channel by just hitting the like button and supporting the channel. It helps a ton and helps us grow and gets the word out about Coturnix quail and self-sufficiency. And then I also do a couple of announcements. I don't have very many yet. I've been absolutely crazy busy the past month and a half. But we're looking at, I did projections today. It looks like it's going to be about another month that I'll be working 80 to 100 hours a week, and then I'll be able to go back down to about 65. Which surprisingly is like a huge vacation. That I can do 65 hours a week every week of the year. Once I hit that 80, I start hitting walls after about a month and a half. So I'll be happy to get back down to that 65. And when I do that, I'll have time to do more YouTube videos and things like that. And so I'm excited about that. But again, remember, the whole purpose of doing this is to ask questions and to answer them. So if you have any questions, comment below. And our goal tonight is going to be 100 likes. So if you can hit the thumbs up button, that would be absolutely amazing to try to get there tonight. The announcements I have tonight, I'm going to briefly discuss. So last week, I spent about 5-10 minutes on one topic at the beginning. I won't go over that again. But if you're trying to sell quail or trying to be successful in quail for profit. One thing that I've really not mentioned on my YouTube channel or on our playlist called Quail for Profit, which I think is very educational. And if you're interested in that, then I would highly recommend you checking it out. But I haven't really discussed websites. We've had a website for about 13 years. We had that before we started selling online, just to get the word out educational wise around us and work on the SEO in our area, quail near me, things like that. And I'm not a big website type of person. I'm not very social media conscious. Like it doesn't click for me, kind of thing. But we redid our website this year, and we've seen massive increases in our sales and product reviews and things like that. And Linda Easton Waller, which is also the owner of Quail University, as well as Hatching at Home. She redid our website this year. She does that on the side. She's very knowledgeable with websites and SEOs and Google and all that. She's also very knowledgeable with quail. She's been doing it for quite some time, so that helps as well. And so if you're interested, I would highly recommend you reaching out to her. Usually she shows up at some point in time tonight, and you can get her contact information, or you can find her on Facebook. And she did a fantastic job for us, very affordable, and I highly recommend you checking that out if you're interested in quail for profit. The second thing is we will be speaking at 3 different conventions this year, homesteading conventions. We will be talking at Murray Fest Midwest, which is in Iowa, at the end of June, beginning of July. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm looking very forward to that. It's the first homesteading convention that they're going to be speaking about quail at a large scale and having my own stage and all that. So I think that's really, really cool. I'm also going to be doing a homesteading convention here in Ohio next month called Back to the Basics. I'm very excited about that. We'll be doing YouTube videos as soon as I get a chance to do so. So if you're in Ohio, you can check that out, Back to Basics homesteading convention here in Ohio. I think it's about 3 hours away from us up north, but I could be wrong on that. And then obviously we will be speaking, Myshire Farm will be speaking at QuailCon, Homesteading and Quail Convention here at Myshire Farm. That's right, we are doing a 2-day event. I don't remember when, August 31st, September 1st maybe. But it's on our website. All the information on there is correct. I just have bad memory sometimes. So you can check that out. But it is a 2-day event that we're going to be having all kinds of homesteaders, people that raise quail, people for quail for profit, safety, farm safety classes, butchering classes, tours of the barn, tours of the farm itself and all of Papa the Builder's crazy inventions and things like that. So check that out as well on our website. I think that is all the announcements I'm willing to make tonight. So we will get into the comments and get started here after I take a drink. All right, here we go. Wyatt Higgs is in the house. Says hello from Southern Indiana. Do you notice less fertility in your celadons? Mine I get from the same guy every time, and they never do well, like 12 out of 38 pickup shipped. Actually, celadons, so we keep all, like, if you give me a hatch rate tonight, I always ask, like, what did you order? Like, was it Jumbo Wilds, or was it Variety Choice Mixed, or because we keep those separate. So the average hatch rate on all shipped eggs for the year is what I mentioned earlier, which is 73.8%. But we do have records of each individual one that I did today, and I was very surprised. Celadons are close, almost at 80%. They're at 78 point something. I don't have it in front of me, but they were close to 79%, which is close to 80, I guess I'm saying. But they are higher than the average, and we're very happy about that. So no, we're doing very well with our celadons. Buck Reynolds is in the house and says hello to you and everyone else out there. Absolutely welcome. We're glad you're here. Donna's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. James is in the house from North Carolina. Welcome. McCool in Northern Indiana. We're glad you're here. What is the name of the hydrometer that you recommend? It is, I think I've got one in here. I do. It is called the Govee. I really like the Govee. You can get different kinds. I like the brand. I've tried a couple different ones. I don't know which one I like more than the other. But I do like the fact that there's many different options. You can use it as just a regular one, put it in there and read it. There's other ones that can connect to your phone and give you updates when it spikes or whatever the case may be like that. So yeah, I like the Govee. Vay's Place is obviously in the house. Welcome. Wendy's in the house from Somerset, Ohio. Love listening to all your advice on raising quail. I will be ordering from you soon. Thank you very much. And good luck to you. And thanks for choosing us. Bradley James is in the house. Says hello to everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Brad and his wife will be here at QuailCon speaking and doing workshops, and they are a huge asset to homesteading and quail convention. Huge asset. So I can't wait to have them back this summer. I guess it's the end of summer. Aaron is in the house. Good evening, Quailers. Hey, Zach, watching from South Louisiana. Also will be at QuailCon speaking. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Eric Willis is in the house from Arkansas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Joy's in the house from Western Oregon. Welcome. Steve Hogan's in the house. Says good evening, everyone. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Vernon is in the house. Says hello from Evening Quail Farm. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Sun Dynasty Farm is in the house. Yusuf is in the house. Says hello, everybody from Lexington, Massachusetts. Welcome. Barbara Hill is in the house from Woodruff, South Carolina. We're all over the place tonight as far as geography goes, which is kind of cool. Quail Corner Homestead is in the house. Hello, everyone from Ray and Gretchen in New Jersey. Welcome. Emma Ball is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dennis is in the house. What's the highest my incubator can go up to? Well, I guess that would depend on the incubator. If you're asking as far as not affecting the eggs, you really don't want it to go past 10. You really don't want to have it go past 101.5. So there's different not standards. There's think of it as a stoplight. Think of it as red, green, and yellow, right? Red, yellow, green, whatever. So the green is going to be 99.5, right? So you want your temperature to be 99.5 unless you're doing a dry hatch, and then you want it at 100.5. And we've got videos on all of that. In fact, I've got a playlist on our YouTube channel called The Hatching Process that goes step-by-step instructions on the whole process. But let's just say it's 99.5, right? So you've got a half a degree difference up or down to be in the green zone. So between 99 and 100, you're okay. That does not mean you leave it there. That means you get it back to 99.5. But if it didn't go past or below 99 or above 99.9, you're still in that green zone. It didn't affect anything. Just bring it back to the 99.5. The yellow zone is another half a degree. So that's 89.5 to 100.5. Again, you're in the yellow. It might affect a few eggs, not all of them. There's still a good chance you'll get a good hatch rate, but you've got to get it back to that 99.5. The red zone is anything after that. So after that, it's definitely going to affect the hatch. The rule of thumb is it's usually 2 hours. So if it spikes to 103 or if the heater goes out or electricity goes out and it goes down to 87 or 85, whatever the case may be, the rule of thumb is as long as the incubator is insulated well, usually there's no effect on the eggs for 2 hours. After that, you start losing some development. Now, that's not always the case. It depends on your environment, your climate, depends on what kind of incubator you have, this, that, and the other. But these are general awareness information, just so you guys know. If anybody has any questions about any of that, you're more than welcome to ask in the comments. But I won't repeat myself, but hopefully that made a lot of sense to Well, it'd be great if it made sense to everybody, but we'll see. Lawrence 2103 is in the house. My eggs from you are coming in soon. They have a tracking number. Awesome. They'll probably go out tomorrow. Good luck to you, and I wish you the best. And obviously, keep me posted on the hatch. Ed Got Bait, obviously, I mentioned earlier, is in the house from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Welcome. He'll be at QuailCon as well as Vase Place. Yusuf said, Quail Corner Homestead, I really like your name. Absolutely. Stephen Clay's in the house. Welcome. Sun Dynasty Farm says, do you have a video on your squeegee for the poop trays? I do have a video on how we do it all, and it is under, pretty sure it's under the playlist, Quail Barn Tours, I do believe is what the playlist is called. Andy's in the house from Middleville, Michigan. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Stephen Clay from Hammond, Louisiana. Welcome. Brent is in the house. Final results are in. 14 hatched, 11 nothing in them. Never developed. Of rest, 4 popped air but never pipped or hatched. The other 3 were DOA and eggs, misdeveloped along the way. I would be a little concerned about maybe a fluctuation of temp in your incubator. I'd keep an eye on that. But that's not too bad, and good luck to you. Carrie Knapp is in the house from Ottawa, Canada. She is her and her husband Darren are our partners in Canada shipping for Myshire Farm. They're doing a fantastic job. They got quite a bit of orders this week, which is very exciting to see. The weather's starting to turn a little bit, which is great, and they're keeping up, and they're doing absolutely amazing. So very happy with all their progress. Trenton's in the house from Tarzan, Texas. Welcome. And then Greg's Cumberlachia Kitchen is in the house from East Tennessee. Welcome. We're glad you're here. John is in the house, says 55% hatch rate here, but had problems with my incubator, lost power for unknown hours on day 2 and same on day 14 for unknown hours. Well, 55% with 2 power outages is really, that's a pretty good job, especially if they were shipped eggs. So congratulations on that. If you did order them from us, John Killen, if you can let me know how many you ordered and what kind they were, I would greatly appreciate it. Tony's in the house from Toronto. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Brent says, I've already ordered more. Absolutely. Good luck to you. And we'll get those out as soon as we can. Tim W's in the house from Orlando. Welcome. We're glad you're here. John says, I was most impressed with the shipping container, but did not receive email the day prior to arrival. Sometimes that could go to your spam folder, or make sure that you're typing in your email correctly. It is an automated email, so it's not something that we do. As soon as we print the tracking number, it automatically sends it to the email address on file. But it could maybe possibly go to your spam, so you might want to check that as well. And it's sent from Jenna at myshirefarm.com. Uncle Mungo Farms is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Yusuf says, wow, 80 to 100 hours a week. It's busy season, and that's just what you got to do. You know, sometimes you just got to put the work in. I'm all right with that. I'll also be happy when I can slow down a little bit. But Vernon Eiler's in the house. Just started Quail University, currently on Chapter 4 and enjoying every minute. Thank you very much. Quail University was a course that myself, Jasmine Bass from Time and Timber Homestead, did together with Linda Easton Waller from Hatching at Home, and who redid our website. And obviously Jenna, my wife, was heavily involved on the back end as well. And we put a Quail University course together. It's called Quail 101. There's a link to that on our website, which is myshirefarm.com, or you can just type in quailuniversity.com. And it's a great course you can take. All the material is yours once you purchase it. I think it's $49, and once you purchase it, it's yours forever. You can go back and rewatch whatever you want to watch whenever, or there's chapters, so it's like you go along with it, so you're learning as you go, kind of thing. But if you want to skip forward or go back or whatever, you can. There's also great information in there as far as quizzes to know where you're at as far as your knowledge level. There's also Excel sheets, so like if you want to know how many eggs you need a day, or how many eggs you need to incubate to have meat every month, or how many quail you need to have to supply meat and eggs for your family. All you do is plug in those numbers on that Excel sheet that's given to you, and it's done. I mean, that's worth the $49 right there. So it's an absolute great course. I highly recommend anybody checking it out. And we've had it up for almost a year next month, I do believe. And in that time, we have had 100% five-star reviews, which is just crazy to me because you can't please everybody. But so far, Quail University has, and that's something I'm very proud of. Jordan's in the house from Indiana. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Short Pickens Quail is in the house. Says, howdy, everybody. Welcome. Feathered Connections Homestead is in the house. Welcome. We're glad to hear. Hey, God Bates says, Zach, yes, Zach is a workhorse for sure. Yeah, I am. Well, I was going to tell you a story, but you guys probably don't want to hear that. Emma Ball's in the house, tuning in from the UK. It's midnight here. I'm dedicated. There you go. Thank you very much. And thanks for being here. We appreciate you. We're glad you're a part of the community. Jeff Fanning's in the house. Says, hi, I'm Jeff. I'm from Nevada, Missouri. I love your videos. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for being here, and welcome to the community as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to help you on your adventure. If you can, hit the like button, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Our channel is not growing as quickly as I'd like this year, but I haven't been posting videos except for our YouTube lives every Sunday, just because I'm constantly working. But if you can, hit the like button. It helps get the other videos that I've already done out and helps the channel grow. So if you can, hit the like button and support the channel. We are literally halfway to the goal tonight of 100 likes. Russ Crosby is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dennis says, my incubator temperature varies from 99.5 to 103 at its highest. Is that fine? No. That will definitely kill the eggs. So I mentioned the whole red light, yellow light, green light earlier as far as the temps go and the varying ranges. I can tell you that it is much more important than anything else for consistency in your incubator. So if you can't consistently get your temperature to 99.5, which is what we need to be doing to get maximum results, it would be better to have it stable at 100 or 99 than have it fluctuate back and forth. You really don't want fluctuation. That usually means either your heating element is out or going out, your fan is either needs to be cleaned out or not working properly, so it's more of a still air kind of thing in there, or it's not very well insulated. So those are the three things that you'd want to look at to fix. But yeah, I would definitely fix that before you start hatching any eggs. Don is in the house from South Mississippi. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Jim is in the house. Jim from Pennsylvania. Have eggs hatching currently on day 18. Just had first egg hatch at 6:30 using Nurturite 360 with the Goby still holding at 75% humidity. How often do you pull chicks out? I pull them out every 24 hours once they start hatching. But Jim, hopefully you're still on, I highly recommend you increase your temperature 1 full degree immediately. To help the rest of them hatch. Usually a late hatch means a low temperature. It might not be reading correctly, but I would definitely increase your temperature 1 full degree ASAP. Dennis says, how do I regulate that? Around 12 to 2, it gets around 103. Again, if it's an insulation issue, you wrap it with a towel or a blanket, a quilt, or something to help insulate, to keep that heat in so that your heater is not constantly going on. If you're in the middle of a hatch, there's really no way to safely inspect the fan or the heating element without pretty much ruining the eggs. So right now, you're pretty much hoping that it's an insulation issue. Insulate the crap out of it and hope that does well. If you're late in the incubation process and it's been fluctuating that much for quite a while, I wouldn't expect a ton to hatch, unfortunately. But if you're just testing it out or something like that, I would definitely clean the heating element, making sure that's not constantly on, making sure that the fan is blowing properly, and then insulate it as well as you can. Mackenzie is in the house. Painted pantry. Can I feed quail spent brewery grain? I do not know. I've never done that. I would assume not, but I am guessing. So don't take that. I do not know. I'm sorry. I don't know that answer, and I'd rather not give you the wrong information. Um, Diana Tuttle from Tut Farms is in the house from Kansas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Fat Country's in the house from Riverview, Florida. And do you raise any chickens for meat? And if so, what kind? I do not. We are strictly quail. We've got some egg-laying chickens for us because we sell out of all the quail eggs. And then we've got other animals like Angus cow and cooney pigs and peacock and duck and dogs and rabbits and stuff like that. But nope, no meat chickens. Don't believe in them. Vase Play says, thumbs up, everyone. Show Zach you appreciate all that he does to help. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. DS Dren is in the house from North Carolina. Super excited. Finally got everything together and ordered my eggs from you today. Awesome. Good luck to you. And we'll get you out as quickly as we can. I wish you the best. Stacy's in the house. Do you really need an egg turner? It's highly recommended. If you're in a pinch and the turner breaks and eggs are ready to go in, you could. It's not the end of the world to just lay them in there. But on a regular basis, I would highly recommend you turn the eggs. The problem is you might be able to get away with it one time or two times or five times, but eventually, the reason you turn those eggs is so that the chick forms and develops overall well. So if they're just laying on one side and they're not being turned and rotated, you'll definitely eventually, at some point in time, really start having issues with deformities and low hatch rate and things like that. Now, again, you might get away with it one or two times. It's not the end of the world. We've done it here because the turner's broken or whatever. But the rule of thumb is we get that fixed before we put the next eggs in. So it's not something that we like to do very often unless absolutely necessary. So I guess what I'm saying is, if your eggs are 7 to 10 days old, you got to put them in. Put them in without the turner if you have to. But if your eggs are laid same day, you've got 7 days to fix the turner, and it would be better to let the eggs sit until day 7 to fix the turner rather than just throwing them in then. Dennis from Phoenix, Arizona, welcome. We're glad you're here. Ed Got Bait says, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely. Thank you very much. American Odyssey's in the house from Iowa. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I will be there in June. So very excited to travel there. Hogwaller Creek Homestead's in the house from South Carolina. Traveler's Rest. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Stacy is not talking to me. Gamboogie's Garden is in the house. Good evening. Watching from Metro Atlanta. My quails are laying well. They started one day after turning 6 weeks. Very cool. Congratulations. That means that your environment you set up for them is right where it should be. That's where you want them to start laying. And you're doing a great job. So congratulations. Greg says it's a good idea to use small fans when it's very hot. I noticed my quail breathing with mouth open when it's in the 80s. Only had a couple days like that so far in East Tennessee. Don't want to stress them. You can. It's not absolutely necessary. Airflow is important. So if they're inside and it's very stuffy, then yeah, you want air circulation. Not necessarily. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to put a fan on them. In fact, I really wouldn't recommend putting a fan on them. I would recommend getting the air circulation through that area. But I wouldn't actually put a fan on them. If you do want to cool them down, the best thing that I know of is you can take, let's say you just have one cage. So you would take 4 water bottles, put them in the freezer. When you go feed and water them in the morning, you take 2 of them, put them in the cage, they can lean up against it and cool off, things like that. When you go feed and water them that night, then you take the 2 frozen ones in the freezer, switch those out, put the other ones back in the freezer, and just keep rotating them if it's really hot, and they tend to really like that a lot. Gary says, do you recommend meditation? Oh, medicated water feed. No, I mean, you can add like electrolytes to the water, not all the time, every once in a while, like Save a Chick electrolytes, or you could add like Rooster Booster to the feed, which is another medication that you can give them kind of to boost them up to start laying or something like that after a molt or after a scare or something like that. But other than that, they really don't need any medication at all, especially if they're in cages. Glenn Wells says, hello everyone from Southeast Missouri. I did quail presentation at local elementary school Friday. Spent 1.5 hours answering questions and letting kids take pics and eat boiled eggs. Very cool. Congratulations. Glad it went well for you, and hopefully you'll be able to do that more often. Jordan says, I'm debating on making my quail room climate controlled. Last year we used fans, but would still get to 90 to 100 degrees. Do you have a set temp that's best that you use? Our brooder room is temperature controlled, because they're in there for the first 3 weeks. But our main barn, which houses right now like 5,200 quail, no, it's completely whatever the temperature is outside is in the barn. Well, not necessarily that. It really doesn't. I guess there's some times that it gets below 30. And then in the summer, it gets hot. I mean, it probably gets, some days it gets to 100 plus, but they do fine. The temperature really doesn't affect the quail. The environment affects the quail. So for example, it could be 10 degrees outside or it could be 110 degrees outside. As long as they can get out of the elements, the wind, the snow, the rain, the hot sun, things like that, they do fine. They adapt very well to temperature. It's more of the elements that could affect them. So they just need to be able to get out of the elements when needed. Bar J and S Ranch is in the house. If I order, will it still be the time window for a good hatch rate? I live in Georgia. If I order, will it still be in the time window for a good hatch rate? I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, we ship all year. So like 2 years ago, we averaged a 72 something percent hatch rate. Last year, we averaged a 73% hatch rate for the year, and we're currently sitting pretty much at a 74% hatch rate for the year. So yeah, I mean, whenever you're ready, we're here, and we've averaged, in the 70% hatch rate for 3 years in a row now. John's with 55% shipped eggs, 100 broke 3 by my fault, 110 eggs ordered and received, hatched about 62 with 2 subsequently dying. Large birds, brown. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, thank you very much. So 62 out of 110 wilds. That's great. Congratulations, and thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. And I did write that down for our records. Julia RTV says, hi, Zach. I ordered 30 jumbo Egyptians. 20 hatched, 2 died. They look like the Coturni quail. Are they supposed to look alike? First-time quail owner. Yeah, the jumbo Egyptians look... I don't know what that means. Are they supposed to look alike? Yeah, the jumbo Egyptians... Yes. 20 out of 30. Not a great, or not good job on the hatch rate is, I guess, what I'm saying. Congratulations on the hatch. That's a good hatch rate. Glenn says, is the under 18 project still going? It is on hiatus right now. We'll get back to that as soon as I can slow down. It takes quite a bit of my time to do all that. And right now I just don't have the time, but we will get back into that. Melody Clark says, yes, Quail University is great, and the fact that you can go back to it anytime is wonderful. Absolutely. Make sure you check that out, and thank you for the kind words. The dinosaur omelets in the house says, hello, friends. My quail lay their eggs within about a 45-minute window happening now. Very cool. Congratulations. Ours is about a 4-hour window, but we do have a lot of quail. Jordan says, there's an exhaust fan out of the rear, and I had one fan pointed towards the opposite wall and the other pointed on them at a good distance. Could the fan pointed at them be the issue? Yeah, you don't want straight air. You don't want fan on your quail. You want circulation around them, but you don't want a fan on them. That's not a good idea. They'll stop laying. Well, there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues with that. Chris says, was looking at raising rabbits and found Chris at Slightly Redneck. Love him. He'll be at QuailCon speaking as well. And he turned he turned me on to quail in Myshire Farm. I have a little more work on the cage and brooder and hope to order by next month. Well, thank you very much. Good luck to you. We wish you the best. And yeah, I love Chris. He's been here every year for QuailCon. Met him years ago, and he's visited us, and we went down and visited him, and great friend. Absolutely great friend. No one's talking to me. Jordan says, how do you handle aggressive quail? Is immediately call the best approach. I haven't had much luck separating and the behavior changing. Well, most aggression is environmental. It's not something that you you do look at that and handle that as a breeder, but a very large majority of it is an environmental thing. So you want to look at your environment first. Now that does not mean you get a jerk male in there every once in a while, or sometimes even a jerk hen. And yeah, the best thing to do is to call. But you want to make sure that the environment is right for them, and that's not causing the aggression. So 5 hens to every 1 male, 3 quail per square foot, 16 to 18 hours of light a day. If those things aren't correct, then that could be causing the behavioral issue. Amy Reed says, just wanted to tell you that Oakley Harris, who won your youth giveaway last summer, just hatched out her first eggs of offspring from you guys in Incubator that she won. She's been so excited. Very cool. Congratulations. That's very exciting to hear. I'm glad she's still doing it, and glad you guys are being successful at it. So congratulations. That's great. Awesome to hear. Thank you very much for letting us know. David Cobb's in the house from North Carolina. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Amy said, hatching and caring for those quail have been such a growing and learning experience for her. Absolutely, and that's why we do it. I'm really hoping that we get back to it next month, but that is wonderful to hear. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Buck Reynolds says, when I ordered eggs, can you put a package of hydrometer in my order of eggs and it to my bill and add it to my bill? We do not sell the hydrometers here, or the hygrometers. We do not sell the gobies. You can buy those on Amazon. We've got an Amazon store, which there's a link on our YouTube channel actually, and on our website that you can go and click that link, and it's on there. But yeah, we don't actually have those here and sell them. It's just something I recommend. My Jomos aren't aggressive at all. The Italians seem the worst. I have hatching time pens. I lower a total of 9 for each row. I mean, that could be an issue as well. It sounds like there's a little bit of overcrowding if there's 9 in each one. The ceilings are very, very low in those. When we had a hatching time cage, they did not behave very well. It seemed like the plastic on their feet really bothered them as well. But I mean, It's hard to say. S.O. Swanson says, greetings from the Mississippi Delta. Welcome. We're glad you're here. S.O. Swanson says, we have 65 thumbs up and 103 watching. Who can I bribe to increase those thumbs up? Absolutely support the channel by hitting the like button. I greatly appreciate it and helps the channel grow. Chris Derry Rose Elrod's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Emma Ball says, question, is the only way to confirm an unknown Celadon roux by doing a test hatch with the confirmed Celadon hen? Yes, that is correct. If all offspring hens lay Celadon, then he's a carrier of the CE gene. Have I got that correct? That is correct. So yeah, you would put a guaranteed Celadon hen with the assumed male. You would hatch those eggs out, and then once they start laying, as long as they're laying the Celadon blue egg, then that means that the roux, the male, was a Celadon carrier. Louis Ramirez is in the house. White Wing update. They're available on the website. Yeah, all eggs are available on the website right now. And I just put teens back on the website today, so that's pretty exciting. Emma Ball says, and would all males from the hatch be confirmed carriers too if the hens are? Yes, as long as all of the hens lay blue eggs, then yes, the males that would hatch out of that would, in that test hatch would also be the Celadon carriers. Yes, you are correct. Witch Doctor's in the house says, good evening, everyone. Welcome. We're glad you're here. S.O. Swanson says, did anyone say Quail and Homesteading Con 132 days away? We did talk about it earlier. Yes, absolutely. BL says, do you have any suggestions for outdoor rollout cages? I'm so worried about snakes getting in. Quail are 3 weeks old and about to be evicted from the house. I'm not a big fan of rollout cages for outdoor use. I think that scares me a little bit. If you do rollout cages in a barn or a garage or something like that, I like that. For the outdoor use, I like the aviaries or I like the hutches. My rollout cages would not work well outside. They are not predator proof at all. And having the rollout cages, you're going to have you're going to have that slit where the eggs come out that's completely open, which, rats and mice and snakes and all kinds of things can get right in there. I'm not saying there's not. I'm sure there's plenty that are good, but I like hutches for outside. Julia RTV says, what is the dust that we're supposed to get them to bathe in? Regular dust is fine. Rather sand, regular play sand is fine. If you want to sprinkle in a little bit of DE to that, not the whole thing, but just sprinkle it in, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, regular play sand will be just fine. Jordan says, is there a battery setup that you recommend to replace the hatching time? I love their brooders, but agree that the ceilings are low in the battery cages as well as floor issues. I love Wynola Ranch. They've been a big part of the quail community for 13 years, maybe longer, and they have amazing cages. We use their cages for all of our project colors, and we used them for the Celadons. We used them for the jumbo white wings, so I love Wynola Ranch, which is either quailcage.com or wynolaranch.com. Marie says, what is good for flies in the outside quail cage? Nothing really. There's not a really great solution to the fly if they're outside. You can put the strips down on the outside of the cages. Obviously, that helps a little bit. Getting rid of the poop as quickly as you can obviously helps as well. Excuse me. But them being outside, you're not going to be able to prevent it. That's just part of it. Dragon Girl's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Jim's in the house. How long after PIP should the egg hatch? A few hours. If the humidity is correct, once you see it pip, and a few hours later, it should be almost out, if not all the way out. If it's not, then that means the humidity is too low and you need to bump that up. Frank Rose says, evening everyone. Got here late. Chores, you know. Absolutely. I understand that. Welcome. We're glad you're here. David Cobb says, when I built my outdoor cages with egg rollouts, I had a cover with the hinges that cover the rollout trays. There you go. Do something like that. Cody's in the house. I bought some celadon eggs from you, and they just started pipping today. Awesome. Good luck to you, and I wish you the best. Obviously, keep me posted on the hatch. Chris Dairy Rose Elrod says, I use Rescue Outdoor Fly Traps. It works great. Yep, absolutely. The fly traps will prevent a lot of them. You can also get those at like Tractor Supply and things where it's like, you hang it and it's like a big dome and they get caught up in there. We've put that around where our horse was back in the day in the horse stall, and dear Lord, we'd fill up a gallon thing of, flies within like a couple of weeks. They work really well too. Bill Thompson says, I have a batch of eggs starting to pip. How do I tell the difference between Italians and Egyptians when they hatch? Italians are whitish and the Egyptians are reddish. That looks like the last of our questions right now. I'll let you, if you have any other questions, you're more than welcome to chat now or comment below. I'll wait just a few minutes before we sign off. But remember to check out the conventions that I said at the very beginning. The Homesteading and Quail Convention here at Myshire Farm. Make sure you get your tickets. They are on sale on our website now at myshirefarm.com. That is at the end of August, beginning of September. Very excited about that. Making a ton of changes this year, which I think is going to be very, very cool. Also, Murray Fest Midwest. That is end of June, beginning of July. That is in Iowa. And then Back to the Basics Homesteading Convention here in Ohio next month. I will be at all three speaking at and very excited about. Greg says, does sand for dust bath need to be? No, it doesn't. They'll put it in their mouth, but they really don't eat it very often. It's not a big deal. Play sand is fine. If you want to throw a little bit of DE in there, that's fine too. Just don't use all DE. That wouldn't be good. Terry Lee says, hi, at lockdown my humidity is at 60%. It needs to be at 75% right away. 60% humidity is way too low for lockdown. And can't have it go higher. If I open the little vent on top of the incubator that needs to be opened at all, it says the incubator instructions. So is that okay? No, it needs to go up to 75% right away. You can put a little Tupperware in there with water and a sponge or a washcloth. And that'll have your humidity spike, hopefully up to the 75%. But yeah, you have to find some way to get that up to 75%. The 60% just won't get the egg soft enough to hatch out. AJ's in the house. Says, hello, my notifications didn't go off to let me know you were live 45 minutes late. That's all right. We don't take attendance. We're glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. Chris says, do you have a date when you're going to open up tickets for QuailCon? They're on the website now. Available on the website now. Chris says, sweet, I'll order my tickets tonight. There you go. Can't wait to see you. Buck says, just wanted to thank you for being here for us. Not a problem. I'm happy to do so and happy to answer any questions to help everybody grow in the Coturnix quail. AJ says, my jumbo eggs I got from you are due to hatch Saturday. Awesome. Good luck. I wish you the best. And obviously keep me posted. McCool says, by what age do you have to have your quail separated so the males don't fight? 5 or 6 weeks. I separate my males at 3 weeks old. So the males go into one cage, the hens go into the other until they start laying eggs, and then we'll put them together. But the sooner you can separate them, the better from the hens. Let's see. Ball says, thanks, Zach. Not a problem. Happy to help. Vernon says, hotel recommendations for QuailCon. No, not really. There's a ton of different options around here with a ton of different price points. Obviously, the higher the price point, the nicer the place will be. So it really depends on where you guys want to be. I travel I haven't traveled a lot this year. In fact, I haven't traveled at all this year. But last year I traveled quite a bit. Probably 15 to 25 days of the year I was traveling, and I drive everywhere. And I stay in cheap hotels. It's a bed, I lay in it, sleep, get up, and leave. So I'm not very particular. So I really don't want to give recommendations for that because everybody might have different uh, interests or whatever. So yeah, I mean, you can just put in, our address is on the website as far as the link to Quail Homesteading and QuailCon. Where the tickets are, it shows in the description our address. You can just type that address in and say hotels near, 7497 Manning Road, and it'll give you a lot of different options. About 15 minutes away. BL says, can all male colony work until processing day? Yep. All of our males stay together until we call or process. And sometimes they're in there until they're 10, 11 weeks old, depending on what's going on. Fran says, what is the convention you'll be speaking to in Ohio besides Miamisburg? It's called Back to the Basics. Let me see. It's Back to Basics Expo. Saturday, May 25th and Sunday, May 26th at Harvest Ridge in Millersburg, Ohio. I will be speaking on Sunday. This event emphasizes simple, self-sufficient, sustainable living. Say that 3 times fast. Encompassing all things homesteading. We are planning. Oh, no, that's for me. Our goal is for people to come together to learn new skills, make new friends, and build a community. Yeah. So Back to Basics Expo, and then they're also on Facebook. They did not send me a website link when they were asking me to speak, so I don't know what the website would be. I would assume backbasics.com, but I don't know that for sure. But they are on Facebook as well. But it sounds like a whole lot of fun. Lost my spot. There we are. Jerry says, will a new batch of chicks that make it to full size cause issues in the flock? What would the introduction process be? Would a second hutch just be easier? No, you can introduce new quail to an existing covey. In fact, I've got a video on that. If you type that into the YouTube search bar, introducing new quail by Myshire Farm, and that video will show up to show you how to introduce the younger quail to. Why do you bust through the door, Hankers? She's not in here. Okay, he's gone. He wasn't looking for me. So yeah, I mean, I recommend it. I think that's a good idea. Really wouldn't cause any issues as long as you're doing it right. But that video will go step by step on how to introduce new quail to an existing covey. Bradley James says, hey Zach, can you contact me when you have time about QuailCon? I can. Oh yeah, my phone's right there. Jordan says, would you be able to explain your breeding selection process from hatch, or is there a video on your YouTube that covers this? We actually do have a breeding program playlist on our YouTube channel week by week and what we're looking for and everything like that. I think it's called another one of my dogs. I think it's called the Jumbo Breeding Process. And it's a playlist. It's short videos, but it's week by week on what we're looking for and things like that. Clickers to Client says, I ordered White Wing Jumbo. The first one that hatched was yellow, and now at almost 2 weeks is almost all white. Will it stay white as it gets older? Yep, absolutely. You can hatch out some jumbo whites from the jumbo White Wings. Chris Derry Rose Elrod says there are a few decent hotels off the highway and 15 minutes from the farm. There you go. Brent says, any hints on the upcoming videos? I've got literally 2 pages in my notebook here, like 2 full pages of topics and ideas that I want to do, and it's just I've either got to take care of my family, or I got to take care of the barn, or I got to take care of customers, or I got to take care of responsibilities, and I just haven't had time to do any of them. But I've got a ton of videos coming your way. Witch Doctor says, I wish we could go to the Murray McMurray event. Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that one. It sounds like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. They asked me to come a day early. We're going to have a special dinner for the speakers, and then do a big tour at their facility, and all the speakers will be there, which is, I mean, you can look it up, but there's all kinds of really great speakers that's going to be there. So I think it's going to be a great time, and it's the first one they're doing, and it's always nice to be on the ground floor building up from that. So I'm really excited about that. We are almost out of comments, not yet, but we are almost. If you can, hit the like button. We need 16 more likes to hit our goal tonight. I would greatly appreciate it, and helps the channel grow. Terry says, have you thought about doing a video of the life of a normal Coturnix whale? I have done that before, and I did a video on the stages of Coturnix quail. So I believe that if you type into the YouTube search bar lifespan by Myshire Farm, that video will show up, but it gives you the different stages. Abalove says, I have some quail who recently started laying. Some of the eggs have a bluish color but still have the brownish spots. So if I hatch them, will they have different colored chicks, or does it matter? The egg color does not matter about the color of the feathers of the chick itself. It has nothing to do with it. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the feather color of the quail. AJ says, that's the monster of a dog. He's something. He got in trouble with me today, so he's trying to be nice. But we'll see. AJ says, he made you look small. He's got a big head. He's got a big head, that's for sure. Ban Garcia 3.0 says, I'm about to order GQF Incubator cabinet. Should I mention you recommended or something? I do not have anything with GQF. I've reached out to them multiple times to try to get you guys a discount. They asked if I wanted to be a seller, and I said, well, can I give them a discount? And they said no. And I said, well, I don't need to be a seller. I could send a lot of people your way if you give me like 5% off or 10% off. And they didn't want to do it. So I still love them. I still love the GQF incubators. They're the best incubators out there. But it would have been great if they would have let me get you guys a discount. Brencia did. I don't know if it's still active. That was about a year ago, and I've tried to reach out to them numerous times, and they haven't reached back. But for a while, they agreed to I think it was 10% off discount if you, in the coupon code, put Myshire Farm. Yeah, GQF never did. So, and Brad, yeah, I'll text you as soon as I get a chance. I will be gone most of the day tomorrow. I'll be here in the morning with George. We got to get orders out and then move some quail, because I'm always moving quail and it always takes so long. But then I've got a funeral that I've got to go to. Somebody in the family passed away last week, and we've got a family dinner, and then we got the viewing, and then we've got the funeral all in one day. So I'll be about an hour away from about 1 o'clock until about 8 o'clock at night. But got to be there for family. Emma Ball says, regarding the Celadon project, from the test hatch, do I then put the CE hens back to the known CE father to create my line, or can I put them with the siblings of their hatch? Either one. Either one. It really depends on your setup and what you're trying to do. But I've done it both ways, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, either one would do. Brent says, how does the EB gene affect other color crosses? Um, how does the EB gene affect other color crosses? It really depends on what you put it with. Some things it doesn't really matter at all. But obviously, the EB gene is a darker gene. And so, you can get, obviously Tibetans is EB, and so are Rosettas. And Rosettas is much more of a patterned color. So if you put that, you're going to get much more patterned. Just like example, Graufies. A lot of people call the black quail out there, or a lot of people call the Graufies the black quail that people are selling, or whatever the case may be. They really are Graufies, which what they really are is the EB gene with the Phi gene. So it's really Tibetans with something with the Phi gene in it, which creates that dark color. Now with our Graufies, I didn't like just the whole dark plain color because Tibetans are dark plain. So I wanted something different. So I did the Phi gene with the Rosetta, which is still EB, so it's still a dark quail, but it's got some feather patterning on it. So it really depends on what you put it with. Bill says, prayers for your family. Thank you very much. AJ says, do you have any videos on the process of getting NPIP certified? I've been looking into it. The biosecurity is what I'm confused about. You don't need any biosecurity to be NPIP. They just come out and test. They can answer any questions you have about what you need or what they would suggest for you for biosecurity. We've had different stages of biosecurity ever since we started. So obviously, we've been in business for 12 years. So we've always had some sort of biosecurity. Ever since about 3-4 years ago, our biosecurity has increased dramatically because of where we're at in our business now. So compared to what we have as our biosecurity now, it's kind of like we didn't even have biosecurity when we started. It was just like a, hey, don't let the birds out on the floor and we got to chase them kind of thing. Now there's structured things in place, but that took us 12 years to get there. But yeah, you don't need any biosecurity to be NPIP. They just test your quail and make sure that they're healthy and did not test positive for AI or Palorum. Oliver Wendell Douglas is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Jordan says, do we need to pre-order if there's something we want to pick up or buy at QuailCon, or will it be kind of open store first year going, so just trying to plan? Yeah, I'll have plenty. I'll probably have, we've got a lot more quail this year than what we did last year, but I think I had, what was it, like 4,000 eggs, plus what was, well, plus the extra two, so 6,000 eggs for sale, and then we had probably 1,000 live quail for sale. So we have a lot to offer, and it's first come first serve. Emma Ball says, oh my gosh, such a gorgeous dog. Thank you very much. Panama Farm says, last minute arrival, like 98. Well, thank you very much. We are at like 99 now. Well, you need one more to hit our goal tonight. So hopefully that'll happen for us. Andy says, oh crap, my hens and roos are at 6 weeks. Got to get them separated. It's not the end of the world. It's a good practice, but it doesn't have to happen all the time. I've got 2 cages that we're going to be separating tomorrow. Well, I've got 8 cages that we're separating tomorrow, which is really annoying, but I haven't done it for the past 2 weeks because I've been slammed. So we got to bust that out tomorrow before I go to the viewing, and their hens and males are mixed together. So it's not the end of the world, but if you can think of it and you've got the room and the time to do it, it is a good practice to separate them at 3 weeks until they're old enough. William says, do you still sell jumbo white hatching eggs? Not right now. I'm currently working on those and will not have those for a while. But I do have jumbo wilds, jumbo white wings, jumbo mix, and jumbo Egyptians. Oliver says, we have a good hatch rate, 26 out of 30. Love that. Wonderful. Some died in the incubator and some died even a couple of weeks ago. Weeks old. Any idea what we did wrong? Only have 8 now. That's a lot that died. I would need to know a whole lot more, but it definitely sounds like it's a feed issue. It might not be. It could be a heat issue. It could be a lot of things. But but it my first thought would be it's a feed issue if you lost that many. That was a lot that you lost. So the best thing I could do is you're going to know your situation better than what I do. Type into the YouTube search bar after you get done watching this. Uh, Chick Fatality by Myshire Farm. Type that into the YouTube search bar. There's one or two videos. There's two videos that's the top 5 reasons for chick fatality and how to fix that and how to find what the problem was. And I think that because you'll know your situation more, you'll be able to narrow that down and decide that's exactly what it was. Or I bet that's, that let's look into this or whatever the case may be. But that I think would help you a lot. So Chick Fatality by Myshire Farm. Sheila says, hi, hello. Does anyone have a photo of what a 12-day candled Coturnix egg would look like? I do on our YouTube channel, Myshire Farm, under the playlist Quail for Profit. It is the balut video. And yeah, we show you exactly what they look like. I actually have a candling video that would be a lot faster to watch as well. So you can actually type into the YouTube search bar candling by Myshire Farm, and that video will pop up there as well. Dinosaur Omelet says, just gave the 100. Well, thank you very much. We got 101. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for your support. The Dinosaur Omelet says, and last year's quail crap is composted for this year's garden. Very cool. Congratulations. Tim W says, have you reviewed the hatching time cabinet incubators? I have not tried any of their incubators. They were here the first year of QuailCon, and they left a 5-tier cage, and they said go ahead and use it, and we tried, and we had it up for about 2 months, and George, and it was, it had our Cosmos and some Celadons and our Amber Fees in there, which were new colors at the time we were trying to research and get those numbers up and things like that. And so very important colors. And we walked in and the wheels had collapsed on it and it had fallen over and all the quail were on the floor or dead. So we don't use that anymore. But I've never tried their incubators. Jordan says, thank you for being so helpful, everyone. Absolutely. Thank you for asking the questions. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the questions for tonight. About an hour long again. So we're getting the hang of this thing. I appreciate everybody that showed up and all the great questions. Thank you very much. Thank you for being part of the quail community. Make sure you check out our website at myshirefarm.com and just look and see what homesteading and QuailCon is all about. There's a tab on there. It tells you speakers who's going to be here and events we're going to have. And it's a whole lot of fun, and I know a lot of people are interested in touring our barn and asking questions, and it's always a lot of fun to do that as well. So hopefully check that out and see if you can make it. That's at the end of August, beginning of September. And until next week, everybody, be safe and happy hatching. See you guys. Thanks.